the ideology behind the figure is down to interpretation and understanding of the meaning of Satan. It does involve many years of study. I mean, maybe contrary to belief, magic is something that I believe we are born with, as in the energy that flows through us. But then it needs cultivation, it obviously needs mentorship, and it also needs the ability to bring it forward to the fore, working with different entities and energies and the understanding of a manipulation of what is around us to be able to create intent. So a practitioner of arts, of dark arts or otherwise, whatever art they would like to practice, is basically someone who has dedicated time and energy in researching and understanding the art of magic. It is very much down to either chance encounters where you actually meet the right people at the right time. Mentorship is very important. I've always said that a magician always needs a mentor. At some point in time, you will become your own entity. I have always believed that to be a good practitioner of magic, a true magician, is when they have achieved the ultimate aim of becoming magic itself. Until such time, you will need to have mentors in your life. It's not easy to find. A lot of people, I think, unfortunately have retorted to books and they have retorted to the internet. It is not the same thing. You will need a mentor in your life. You need that person there on hand that is going to guide you to the different styles of magic, whatever you are taking on board. The straightforward answer is yes. The logistic of that is a bit more in detail and more elaborate. So yes, spellwork does exist, as energy does exist, and therefore frequency. And if a magician is of such competence, there are spells in all kinds of areas of life, right? Obviously, for example, you talked about love spells. I'm one person that, although I have written about love spells, I have been quite clear about the fact that manipulating someone's free will is not something that one needs to entertain or should entertain. Because when you do that, when you're manipulating free will of someone, to be able to get something in return, the chances are that what you are gaining in return is going to be ill-received. Because you have now interfered with fate and time. In my opinion, yes, they do work. It is one vehicle, one means of exercise that would lead to having contact with what we class as the spirit world. Absolutely not. I have studied religion myself. I was institutionalized by the Jesuits. I spent many years under their indoctrination, and I learned a lot of use of these people. I have no such view of confrontation with any other religion, any religion on earth, to be honest, because I think we learn something from each and every path. I obviously developed my own path. Yes, I am forward. I believe that teaching is for everyone, knowledge is free, and we should share it, because there are people out there that if the knowledge is not shared, how can they make a concise decision, a constructive decision? How can they make an educated choice on what they would like to believe in? I think the most important thing is that the ultimate result is the same, right? And one thing that I've always said is that we always should start from a place of love. If we start from a foundation of love, and what we're trying to do is build something which is constructive, not destructive, then I think we're going to have a good end result, making the world a better place. I think anyone that reads the, LaVey's 11 satanic rules for the world, I think if you go through them one by one, you will realize that they actually make common sense, right? There is nothing in there that is that should be demonized or looked at as if with scrutiny, as if, my God, what are they saying here? I think they make perfect sense, and should they have been adapted, and should people adapt them to the normal day-to-day life with discretion, because any rule in this world, even the 10 Commandments, need to be seen at face value and adapted to the society that you live in at the time. So I think if people were a bit more open and looked at the general meaning and feeling, what was behind these teachings or these rules or these pointers, I think they would find that they would have a set of rules or a set of indications that could help them along the way during the day-to-day life, yes. There is a firm belief in our society that it is the church that created demonization of entities to be able to derive a division between what they class as angels and demons. The study of that demonology is very in-depth, and we couldn't cover it here right now. So does Satan exist? I don't know. I think one needs to understand the concept of Satan. Is it an adversary? Is it a concept, an ideology? Is it a demon, a human being? Is it something that you actually can see? As I did say, it's a very elaborate subject, not one that I can answer in 2 words for you. What I do say, though, is that the ideology behind the figure is down to interpretation and understanding of the meaning of Satan. Well, I can tell you categorically that in my many years of being involved in the occult and having experienced diverse systems in operation, I am yet to ever come across anything of the sort. So I can assure you that it is urban legend. Lucifer is seen as a fallen angel, correct? An entity, a deity, a figurehead that rebelled against authority. One needs to understand whether the authority was objective or was it destructive, and what was the purpose of the fall. Are we looking at this metaphorically? Are we looking at this as an ideology? In my opinion, Luciferianism is certainly an ideology. It empowers the self, the person. We believe that we are gods in our own right, but then again we are, right? We are divine beings. And therefore, as divine beings, and people that definitely can encompass a higher state of being, then it empowers you to be the best version of yourself. And therefore, I would say that there is certainly no negative connotation to the words Lucifer or Luciferianism under that context. If one were to take then the various stories, fables, and everything else that has been, thrown about by different people, if you look at the Bible itself, to be honest, in the Bible, Lucifer is not mentioned that many times either. There is not a direct correlation between evil and Luciferianism. Evil is a choice that we all have. Whether you are Christian, Luciferian, Muslim, whatever your creed, it is down to you as a person to choose right from wrong. There is a distinct difference between people who have a mental condition and people who might be actually possessed by an entity outside of themselves. As we are made of energy and frequency, as we have a way of aligning the energies within, and therefore the word dis-ease means not at ease. Therefore, when you are not at ease, your energies are not at ease. When you're not aligned, you are open for exterior forces to be able to take advantage of that weakness. But one has to be very careful when determining if it is actually a problem which is of a medical nature or something which is supernatural. If we were to take the church, for example, and the church, I believe, believes quite categorically in exorcism and possession, I think one has to understand the condition and the background and history of the person that is presented in front of you as possessed. And that is very imperative to the situation. Trying to exorcise someone who is not possessed but actually has a condition which should be medically seen to could be very detrimental. Not for camera. Sorry guys. I mean, Hollywood has come out with so many, it's just incredible, and I think they've done good and bad at the same time, because they have literally made it popular, and at the same time making it popular might have also made it unpopular. So, but a lot of people out there like horror movies, and I would say mine is the Antichrist anthology. I mean, it's Damien and the old ones. I find affinity in those. I think they were amazing in the way they were constructed and the story they tell. But as I said, there are so many, and I'm sure that people would have a different viewpoint.